Alrighty, guys. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back here to another live stream, my friends. We just got a new update here. Apparently, we are now in the enhanced risk level 3 threat for today, with a 10% chance for tornadoes, and a new watch apparently could be issued soon. But what's up, everybody? Hope everyone's doing good. Hope everyone is having a great day after Christmas. Unfortunately, like I mentioned, we have a pretty long day ahead. But anyways, folks, what's up, guys? Let's see who we got here before we jump on into it. We have Peachy, as in Indiana, RO, we'll just call you Ro. Let's see, what's up, Tabletop? What's up, Zach? Let's see, Bentley, Roslyn, and let's see here, Rich. What's up, guys? Of course, everybody else came through saying now that we have another risk, or an upgrade to the risk here. As you guys can see, we do have now an enhanced risk for portions of like far southeastern Texas. This does include Houston as well. Okay, so Houston's also included here in this risk overall, with a 10% significant risk out there for tornadoes. So yeah, today's going to be a day that we definitely need to monitor very closely. And tornadoes are going to be a concern throughout eastern Texas today, through a lot of Louisiana, southern Arkansas. It's definitely going to be a pretty active day today regarding that. Now, we might actually be in store for maybe a regional tornado outbreak today. It certainly is possible. Usually when you do get these 10% risks overall, sometimes you can have tornado outbreaks, in which it definitely seems like that could be a possibility today. So tornadoes definitely could be a huge problem. And like we mentioned, we do have that hatch risk, which means that in the areas of yellow here, we actually have a shot at maybe some of the intensity being greater than EF2, or EF2 or greater, possible across the yellow area here. So we definitely need to be watching this here very, very closely across the regions here. Now, not just tornadoes is a concern, but we also do have the threat here for damaging winds as well. We got a 15% risk out here for damaging wind gusts. We're talking, mostly in the range of around, 60 to maybe 70 mile an hour wind gusts today is a possibility. With the main threat for damaging winds kind of being here in like eastern Texas, throughout like portions of central kind of northern Louisiana, southern Arkansas in general. That's kind of where we're standing with that. And of course, lastly, our hail threat here, 15% chance along the eastern side of Texas, as well as a little bit of Louisiana here in the hail threat here, for the possibility of some hail ranging between maybe 1 to 2 inches overall. Let's see here. Tabletop Dude, thanks for the $2, man. Appreciate it. Saying, any thoughts for coastal North Carolina this week? There's nothing going on out there, man. Things are looking pretty good. No organized severe weather expected out that way anytime soon. So you're good. The only thing is, though, Friday, tomorrow, we do have a risk out here for some more severe weather. A little marginal risk tomorrow across portions of Louisiana, Mississippi, and a little bit of Alabama. But for day 3, this is for Saturday, we actually do have ourselves another risk that we're going to need to be doing coverage for across, once again, Louisiana, a little bit more of Mississippi, and the risk even extending its way in towards areas like Tennessee, kind of the western side, as well as Alabama for Saturday might be in the risk here as well. So just wanted to go ahead and bring that up. So we definitely do need to be watching very, very closely. Once again, today we do have a pretty big risk on our hands here. Overall, with that enhanced risk that we do have, that level 3 threat, so we will definitely be keeping a close eye out there. We will be doing coverage today. Anyways, so that's that. Hopping over here to the radar real quickly to show you guys what's going on. Actually, we do already have a severe thunderstorm warning. The first one of the day, I believe, has been issued, and actually we're starting to get some reports coming in for some hail. Not necessarily severe hail has been reported. We've had reports up to penny size, or is that dime size? Let's see. It says dime. 0.75. I think it's penny size, though, right? Anyways, but yeah, we're expecting hail on that storm possibly to be getting up to right around quarter size hail. And some of the winds We could be having some wind gusts here, basically 50 miles an hour or lower, basically less than 50. So, not really expecting anything extremely crazy on that storm, but we are talking potential for some large hail. And whenever it comes to it, that's kind of the only threat here. For this severe thunderstorm, and you can actually see on the radar, we do have a pretty decent core here. Pretty decent hail core that we have going on kind of east of Irene, west of Purdon, I think it is. So the severe thunderstorm warning does include areas out here by M-House, Bardwell, Ennis, Alma, Rice, let's see here, Rowan, I think it is, Blooming Grove, Frost, Irene, Purdon, Dawson, Hubbard, Malone, and Penelope, I think it is. So you guys are inside of that new severe thunderstorm warning there. So that will be in effect here until 11:15 a.m. Central Time. So just a bit of a heads up there for you guys. We also do have a lot of flash flooding going on out there kind of near the Dallas area. Dallas actually is under a flash flood warning here ongoing right now. There's a lot of strong thunderstorms out there currently. Across the region of Dallas, kind of the Dallas-Fort Worth area, there's a lot of thunderstorms. There's going to be that potential for flooding. I mean, the storms here, they're not necessarily. Let's see how fast they're moving. They're moving 55. Okay, so they're relatively moving fairly quickly. But yeah, definitely, there's a lot of them out there, which can lead to some flooding. We already do have some flooding reports coming through. Kind of near the Fort Worth area, out there by Decatur, we have a report of flooding. Springtown, Texas. By the way, this is Northeast Texas, guys, where we do have a report here of flooding as well. Let's see here. Justin says, do I think the tornado threat will stay just east of Dallas-Fort Worth? So the active tornado threat today isn't necessarily. Let's go reload this here real quickly. My internet's being pretty slow again today here for some reason. Here, let's go ahead and try to reload that here. Dude, I don't know what's going on with my internet lately. It's been terrible. Here, let's go ahead and try restarting that real quick. Let's go bring up SPC. Here we go. So for today, the tornado threat is not necessarily just for the areas here. Is he going to let me select this here or not? There we go. Okay. I was wondering what's going on there. But yeah, so the tornado threat is mostly to the east and south of Dallas. Not necessarily, anywhere west of Dallas. Yeah, they're kind of towards areas near like Houston and whatnot. As you can see here, Houston's actually in that significant threat for severe or for tornadoes here, which, we are talking potentially EF2 or greater. So we definitely do have a pretty nasty shot out there towards the Houston area here for a couple of strong tornadoes. So be extra careful out there. In terms of, like I said, Shreveport, we do have that 5% risk out here too, which, Shreveport, even in the 5%, it's still a decent tornado risk. Definitely something you do want to be monitoring throughout today. Is there as well. The 5% does extend into southern Arkansas here too, overall. So, pretty active day with tornadoes from what it looks like for today. Damaging winds, hopping over here to that. So we do not have a hatch risk for damaging wind potential right now. So that's good. We basically have, the risk out here. Mostly we're talking between. We are mostly talking basically about winds anywhere from 60, maybe upwards of 70 miles an hour being possible regarding the the potential damaging wind gusts of what we could see. Which the yellow is a 15% chance and the brown is a 5% chance. So you can see kind of where the greatest concern for that damaging wind threat is going to be for today, which is like eastern Texas, out there kind of towards like Louisiana, for mostly the state in southern Arkansas, the greatest threat for damaging winds. Now, whenever it does come to the hail threat here, overall, western Louisiana does have pretty decent shot for some large hail. But a lot of eastern Texas, once again, is going to be kind of the main area here for a lot of that, in which, we do have ourselves a 15% chance, for that as well. Once again, between maybe 1, maybe 2 inches in diameter overall being kind of, the range here of, basically the size overall. So I do want to bring you guys over to the future models here. We are going to take a look at that. So let's go ahead and bring y'all over here to the future model runs and stuff like that. So basically the threat that we're kind of in for today, let's go ahead and hop you guys over here to that. So whenever it comes to it let's see, we're going to go ahead and fix this real quickly. I think there's a little bit of a glitch. For some reason, there's the stream starting text up there. I was messing with it this morning. I don't know what happened. Something happened though. Anyways, so let's go ahead and line up that time for you guys so you guys can kind of see that. So if you guys look, the time's in the top right there. So, throughout the next several hours, we're just going to be seeing a bunch of scattered storms overall. Something that we are definitely going to need to be looking out there for. Which some of those could be isolated severe thunderstorms, like we have been kind of seeing right now. We are seeing, that one severe thunderstorm warning that got issued for hail. For right now, that we do have a little bit of concern for severity. But, as we work our way down in time here, basically as we approach our way into the evening, we kind of really turn into a long line of storms per se. Overall, as you can see, yeah, we really do develop into quite a long line of storms here for this evening. And at this point in time, yes, there could be some embedded tornadoes. Unfortunately, some of those tornadoes could be a bit difficult to see because, first of all, it's going to be nighttime. But second of all, there is going to be a concern for, that rain-wrapped tornadic potential, basically where these curtains of rain kind of wrap around the tornado, making it impossible to be able to see. So, that's going to be something that we're going to need to look out for today as well. But also, damaging winds on that line later today will be also a concern. So we'll have to really be looking out there for that. Then as we approach our way into tomorrow, as that cold front kind of rolls through here, we do have a little bit of a threat for severe weather, but yet again, another system will be kind of coming through here for the day after tomorrow, for the 28th. As you can see, another low working its way up across like the southern Midwest here, which could be, once again, sparking off some more severe weather. So, it's not just today that we're looking out for. Tomorrow we have a little threat, and then once again for the day after tomorrow, which that would be for Saturday, I believe. We yet again have another risk for a lot of these areas down here once again. So, we're going to definitely need to be very much weather aware over the next couple of days here. It does seem like we're kind of rolling our way into kind of an active pattern here regarding, severe weather and stuff. So, but yeah, once again, basically from, where we're at right now, we are seeing essentially, once again, a bunch of just scattered storms, which if we hop our way over here to the radar once again, you can actually see here that, we are currently seeing just a bunch of scattered storms here with an isolated severe risk going on kind of right now. Let's go ahead and bring you guys, we're actually going to load up these warnings here. We're going to get these up and showing. So yeah, there's that one severe that's just relatively south of Dallas currently. Which once again, that's warned for quarter size hail. That's really the only concern on that guy right now. So yeah, quarter size hail for Blooming Grove, Berry, Frost. Let's see here, including Elm House, Rice, Bardwell, and Ennis. You guys are in that severe thunderstorm warning for potential of quarter size hail, as well as winds basically less than 50 miles an hour for the most part. So winds isn't really a concern for that one storm, but hail is. I mean, if you look at the reflectivity here, once again, you can actually see that we do have a pretty decent hail core just south of Blooming Grove, Texas, currently ongoing right now. Here, let's go ahead and bring up my pen so I can actually kind of draw on the screen for you guys and show you all stuff. But yeah, you can really kind of make out that hail core right in here. With the higher reflectivity values showing that there is either A, some heavy precipitation, B, large hail, or more than likely C, both. Both heavy rain and large hail is likely going on in that region there overall. Let's see here. The storms appear to be standing still. See, tracking direction. So we do have that northerly air advection. So a lot of the that northerly warm air is moving north from the Gulf, which is bringing in the moisture, bringing in the fuel and stuff like that. So the that's northerly, but the storms, the line later today is going to be moving relatively kind of northeast in general here. But anyways, we do have that one report though. A little bit of hail is actually already being reported from that storm, so we're gonna definitely be needing to watch that pretty closely. Tad says, is College Station going to be okay? So, College Station, I believe, is here. Let's go ahead and hop over here real quickly. Let's see, College Station, Texas. So yeah, you guys are actually in a pretty decent risk for today. You do have the 5% tornado risk. You're in a level 2 threat. So College Station, Texas should be weather aware for sure today. I definitely do think that you guys should be watching the weather today for sure. Especially as we work way later on this afternoon into the evening. That's when things are going to really be ramping up. But the chances for thunderstorms, is already ongoing, as we do have a couple of storms already nearby. And for the next several hours, it's just going to be a bunch of scattered storms, kind of rolling through. As we just mentioned, we have that warm northerly advection. Basically, a lot of that warm air, moisture, and stuff like that's coming up from the Gulf right now, working its way in here and creating some thunderstorms and stuff. So, for now, it's just going to be a bunch of scattered storms. But like we mentioned, later tonight, that will be turning kind of into a line as it rolls through, which could be a problem in terms of like QLCS tornadoes. So basically, that long line of storms can produce tornadoes inside of the line, which can make the tornado impossible to see because rain curtains just wrap around the tornado and just makes it impossible to see. So just please be careful. Don't wait to see or hear a tornado if a warning gets issued. If a tornado warning gets issued today, you need to act at once. Do not wait to see it because in some cases like today, it's going to be nighttime and potentially rain wrapped, which makes it really hard to see overall. Let's see here, Matt. Dude, coming in with a $20 super chat, man. Thank you so much, Matt. Saying, hey, in WW16, you're always providing great info. Always glad to support you. Matt, dude, thank you so much, man. That is really, really nice of you, dude. Matt, huge shout out goes to you, man. Thank you so much for your support. That means a lot to me, dude. Thank you. You helped me out a lot. I really appreciate that. So, huge shout out goes to Matt. Thank you, man. Once again, big shout out goes to you. Greatly appreciate it. And, I'm really, really thankful for that. I just want you to know that. So thank you so much. Anyways, so like we mentioned, the severe threat is kind of starting right now. We are starting to see, that activity starting to begin. Actually, that storm that we're looking at here right now, it kind of has a little hook that might be trying to develop there. So there's this little area here. We call this the inflow notch. So basically a lot of warm air is just kind of rushing its way into the storm there. That's right there. Let's see here. That right there actually could be developing something here. The radar's a little iffy, right? Oh, you know what? There might be something trying to form here. I really do want to keep an eye. Did they put a tornado possible tag on that? They did not, but yes, we definitely I want to keep a really close eye on that because the thing is also is that there is basically an open environment under the storm. So this is free to all that moisture, free to all of that instability and stuff. A little concerning, actually. I really want to watch that. That is definitely something that we're going to need to actively watch closely. So we'll definitely be keeping an eye on that. But we do have that warning in effect right now. Like I mentioned, it's really just for hail. The winds aren't right now not currently severe on that storm. We are going to still see some gusty winds. Upwards up to 50 mile an hour wind gusts on it, but. That is pretty strong, and it is enough to cause some inconveniences and stuff. But it's not considered severe for the wind threat, but more the only reason it's severe is because of the hail threat that's on it right here. We do have a quarter-size hail, marker here, so we are expecting potentially quarter-size hail with this going on there. You can really see it, though, on that hail core. This little area here where you see that kind of pinkish purple, that's... Yeah, that's a pretty that's a pretty decent looking hail core there. In which, once again, we already have had reports when it first started kicking off, and I'm very sure of it, that it's still producing probably even larger hail now. But yeah, anyways, Blooming Grove, Barry, Texas, you guys are kind of in that core. It's right between those two towns there, in which, the motion of the storm here is heading towards M House, towards Rice, Alma. So really, just a heads up for you guys out there, because there is some hail on it, in which obviously we really do recommend that you guys move your way indoors, away from windows, because the thing with hailstorms is that there's usually a lot of lightning due to increased friction of ice crystals in the mid-atmosphere. So basically, all these hailstones that are kind of lofting inside of the storm, they rub up against each other, they create friction, which builds up static charge, which needs to be, dissipated. And it does so by zapping the ground, in which we know is lightning. So that is a thing, in which there is likely some pretty strong lightning activity going on in this storm here as well. Something that we should obviously really be looking out for as well. So, not only is the hail kind of a concern, but, there's likely a lot of lightning going on here too. With this overall, let's see if they even mentioned that. They might have even mentioned it, actually. In some of the warning texts, they do mention it. I don't think they did. Yeah, I mean, they do say the for your protection, get inside a sturdy structure away from windows. Yeah, so we're talking hail as well as that lightning kind of concern right now. So definitely keep an eye out there for that. Now let's go and take a quick little look down a little bit further south here. We're gonna change up our radar towards Houston real quickly. Let's take a look and see what's going on down here. We do have a lot of storms popping off down here. These ones here are sub-severe currently, but we are going to need to look out for them. There could be little amounts of hail in some of these storms here, but not necessarily currently severe at the moment. But, as we continue to work our way further down in time into this, this afternoon and into the evening, that severe threat's going to ramp up quickly. But anyways, now, I do want to take you guys over here once again to the SPC. So this is the latest risk here from the Storm Prediction Center. They did just recently upgrade the threat from a level 2 now to a level 3 severe weather threat. That's a pretty big risk for severe weather, okay? So we do have this orange area here in eastern, kind of southeastern Texas here. This includes Houston, by the way, Pasadena, Texas, the Woodlands, Baytown, Pearland. You guys are in this enhanced risk, that level 3 threat. Now, what does that mean? We do have ourselves a 10% chance for tornadoes. So basically the way this works here is, within 25 miles of a given point. So say you live in Houston, right? Within a 25-mile radius around you, there is a 10% chance that a tornado will drop somewhere in that area. In which, the unfortunate thing is, too, is you might notice this kind of, black dashed lines going through it. That represents that this is a significant or a hatch risk. Which is basically saying that there could be the potential for some strong tornadoes, potentially EF2 or greater. So that's definitely something we're going to really need to look out for today, as we could have some quite strong tornadoes in the 10% area. Now, tornadoes will be possible across any area that's colored here. The green is a 2% chance for tornadoes, relatively low threat. The brown, it gets a little bit more likely, but still, relatively lower threat for tornadoes. But there still very well could be tornadoes in the area. But yeah, by far the main concern for today with the tornadoes is going to be like in eastern Texas overall. Damaging winds, once again, 15% chance. Non-significant risk, though. Potential for damaging wind gusts between like 60, maybe 70 miles an hour overall. And, of course, our hail threat, also a 15% chance for hail, pretty much 1, maybe 2 inches in diameter overall. Let's see here. Peachy says, when will the storms when will they start to get worse? So let's go ahead and hop back to the models real quickly. I do actually want to bring y'all over here real quickly. So let's actually go ahead and hop you guys over here to this page here. So we're going to pull up the HRRR. And there's the stream starting text again. It kind of just applied that to all of them. I don't know why. Anyways, So whenever it comes to it, let's go ahead and readjust this a little bit here. I think that's we'll just do that there. Perfect. Anyways, so yeah, we work our way down in time. Things are not going to really start really ramping up until later on this, later this afternoon, later this evening. If we once we work our way down in time, you can see that we go kind of from where we're at now with a bunch of just scattered non-severe storms with, that isolated severe warning that we do have now. To later on today, those storms becoming a little bit more intensified, a little bit more stronger, and stuff like that. And that's when you're going to really start to notice like the prime hail threat, the prime tornado threat probably as well. And then of course this thing turns into a line, which at that point is going to be kind of a main concern for damaging winds, still capable of tornadoes, as well as a little bit of hail as well. But yeah, so that's kind of what it's going to look like. So the timing for that, that's going to be probably within the next, probably the next like 2, maybe 3 hours or so, is when things are. I think we're going to really start to pop off. Could be sooner. Nature works in very interesting ways. Sometimes things can kick off a little early. Here's something I do actually want to show you guys real quickly. Let's go ahead and hop you guys over here to the satellite imagery real quickly. So this is a live view from above. We go ahead and zoom into the region area here. Now, the first thing I do want to mention is that the sky is very overcast, as you guys can kind of tell. That could be good news. Actually, sometimes if you have these big severe weather events, the cloud cover can actually inhibit the atmosphere for getting up to its maximum potential. Therefore, it can make severe weather a little bit harder to develop. Which I hope that's the case. But yeah, we do have a lot of cloud cover. You can really see though those higher cloud tops here by the shadows that are casted on the lower clouds below. So those are actually your storms that are popping off here. You can see these little bubbles. Yeah, that's all that thunderstorm activity. But and then you can see the lower clouds beneath it. So yeah, that's a current view, but if you do look out here in the water, you can actually see that movement to the kind of to the north, maybe slightly northwest. That's that warm, moisture-filled air that's working its way into the continental U.S., which is supplying it with the moisture and everything we need to get really those storms firing off. So all of that air is kind of rushing its way up into the country here right now, which is definitely setting us up for a decent event, I think. So we're gonna really need to be looking out there for that. But anyways, let's go ahead and hop our way back here to the radar. I did want to show you guys that real quickly. So we'll be actively looking at the satellite throughout the day as well. But yeah, we'll definitely be keeping a close eye out there for that. Let's go ahead and hop our way over here back to Dallas. Like I mentioned, we do have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect here. That's a pretty strong storm. You can see the core, that little hail core that we have. Right in here. I mean, it's a pretty chunky hail core we got going on out there, relatively near Berry, Texas, which is just pretty much directly south of Dallas, a good little way. But yeah, out there by Berry, Texas, we do have that hail core nearby. So severe thunderstorm warning in effect for Blooming Grove, Berry, let's see, M House. We have Rice, Alma, Ennis. Let's see here, Rowan, I think it is, as well as like Corsicana. You guys are under a severe thunderstorm warning here until 11:15 is whenever that does expire, I do believe. I just couldn't see here. Yep, till 11:15 a.m. So that will be in effect for about 14 more minutes. Not too much longer, but about 14 minutes left. They might even extend that warning, which, given the way the storm looks right now, it's a very real possibility. So yeah, heads up for you guys. Now the reason we have that warning here is not for damaging winds actually, but just for hail really. We do have that potential for quarter-size hail, so up to basically 1 inch in diameter overall. Would recommend definitely being indoors for the storm here. While there's not damaging winds expected on this storm, there is still some gusty winds, as well as large hail can become an issue, and on top of that, probably a lot of lightning as well going on with that storm, which I would also highly recommend that you do go inside, and honestly, away from windows too would be highly recommended for you guys. So just, please be careful out there. And now we do have a lot of flooding going on. Actually, we do have a new flash flood warning that got issued for areas out there kind of towards Arlington, Texas, basically between Dallas, Fort Worth. So that does include like Grapevine, Colleyville, Roanoke. So we do have a lot of flooding going on, as we do have a lot of strong thunderstorms up here. Not necessarily severe, but a lot of big grouping of strong thunderstorms with heavy precipitation, which is allowing for quick accumulations and all that. And since there's a huge quantity of storms, that's rolling its way over the region, that's just allowing for continuous heavy rainfall, and therefore, potential there for flooding. So heads up for the Dallas area here. Dallas is included in one of these warnings. Same thing. Fort Worth here as well is included with that warning out there kind of near Arlington. So just a bit of a heads up there for you. I want you guys to, just so look out for flooding too, as that is going to be another threat. Now, speaking of flooding, actually, what I do want to do real quickly is show you all where the threat for flooding is mostly going to be at. We do have a pretty decent risk out here for flooding today, in which, the areas in yellow is the maximum threat for flooding today. The scale goes up to 4. We're at a level 2. So this is, kind of a mid-level flooding event here. It is still a decent shot for flooding. But the greatest threat for flooding is going to be out here in eastern Texas, southeastern Oklahoma, central and southern Arkansas, a bit of central, western, northern Louisiana, and western Mississippi. That is where the greatest threat for flooding is going to be there overall. So a bit of a heads up there for you guys. And of course, the areas in green here too, it still could see some flooding, although a little bit more uncommon. Still will be possible here in the areas of the green. So, but yeah, definitely the yellow here. Please monitor it. If you're in a low-lying spot, that's really prone to flooding and you're in this area here, definitely would recommend that you are watching this closely, because, once again, there could be definitely a pretty decent threat out there for flooding today. So please just keep that in mind as well. Not only is there going to be a threat for tornadoes in some of these areas here, damaging winds or hail, but there's also going to be the threat for, lightning, a pretty good amount of lightning with this event here as well. And of course, flooding. So there's really 5 really main things we need to look out for: lightning, flooding, tornadoes, large hail, damaging winds. Those are all the things that we really do need to be looking out for today. Let's see here. Yeah, tabletop. It won't exist by the time it gets to you. You should be fine. What's up, Corey? Hope you're doing good. What's up, Monster? But yeah, so not just the main 3 that we need to look out for today. We do need to be looking out for all of them. But once again, additionally, some flooding and stuff like that we do need to be watching out there for as well. We'll definitely keep you guys posted. Anyways, so we do have that warning in effect for about 10 more minutes, guys. We do have our first severe thunderstorm warning in effect. The hail core here is actually heading towards, M House, I think it is. So we are likely getting some pretty large hail out there. You can see that pretty strong core that we have, which we are seeing about 65 dBz. That's 68 dBz. So that's a high reflectivity value. Typically, 50 is considered high for like heavy rain and stuff. Once you kind of breach into 60s and stuff, it's where it really kind of starts to, become really heavy rain, if not hail. And we're talking values here of like, upwards of upper 60 dBz. That's likely some pretty large hail that we have definitely going on in this storm here overall. So, got to keep an eye on it. But yeah, that is heading towards Rice and Alma, Texas. So just a bit of a heads up for you guys out there. Once again, the only concern here is for hail on that storm. Damaging winds is going to be basically less than 50. Winds could get up to 50, but that's about all we're expecting on that storm. So, yes, there certainly could still be some strong winds on it, but severe winds, not necessarily. We're not really expecting severe winds on that storm right now. But we'll keep a close eye on it. And, as we should for a lot of these other storms too. I mean, while they're actively not severe right now, while that's the only warning we have at the moment, like we mentioned, it's these guys could really pop off at any time at this point in time here. I do think that they could, really start taking off and stuff here soon. So we'll have to be looking out there for that. Let's see here. What's the green triangle with the caution sign? So the green triangle here, that is a hail indicator. It's estimated radar size hail. So that's basically radar estimating what hail size there is in the storm. Let's see here. Awesome keyboard. Thanks. Appreciate it. I've had it for about 6 years. Probably longer, actually. About 6, maybe 7 years. I've had it a long time. What's up, Calvin? Hope you're doing good. Darian says good morning. Good morning to you as well. But yeah, so we do need to keep an eye on these guys here too. Let's go and hop to velocity real quickly. Go ahead and check up on some of these storms. We got to be looking out for that rotation too, man. These storms can they can start turning ugly real quick. That is something that they can be doing. So that one severe storm we got right here doesn't really seem to be a big issue like tornadic right now, but certainly do want to keep a close eye on it because, first of all, it does have all of this environment to itself, basically under the storm, which could really help organize that storm. Definitely want to keep an eye on that. So that is something that we're going to have to really be looking at, though, for today. We're going to have to constantly be checking for rotation in these storms here, just because, they can evolve very quickly. They could go from nothing to everything in a very short period of time here. But the way it looks right now, though, thankfully, not seeing any rotation on these storms. I'm very thankful. But yeah, the main threat, though, is going to be kicking off here relatively soon. I think possibly within the next couple of hours we could be starting to see things popping. Honestly, within pretty much from now on, I think things could start popping off. But according to models and stuff, it looks like the main stuff is going to kind of kick off here within the next couple of hours here. What's up, Samuel? Calvin says, I'm seeing sunshine in Houston, Texas. Very nice. Very, very nice. Yeah, a lot of the place is overcast, actually. Let's go and hop you guys over here back to satellite imagery. So, yeah, this is the current sat. You can actually see, there might be a little bit of breaks in clouds out there towards Houston. That's towards the Galveston Bay. But, yeah, Houston, looks like we're starting to see a little bit of breaks in the clouds. But, yeah, it's very overcast, though, for these areas, which, once, like I mentioned a little bit ago, could be very good for us. Because sometimes, these clouds can kind of trap in, a lot of that. It can really kind of prevent the maximum. How did I explain it earlier? I said it perfectly earlier. So basically, it prevents the event potentially from getting to its maximum. It makes severe weather a little bit harder because, the sun's rays, the radiation from the sun cannot directly heat up the surface as efficiently as if it was, basically not overcast, if the sun was directly allowed to hit the ground. So sometimes that can allow for the event to be a little bit under. I'm hoping that's the case today. But, that overcast definitely doesn't really do anything good for the severe weather event, thankfully. So we'll have to look out for that. Okay, we got some new development here, y'all. Got a new severe thunderstorm warning that just got issued. Let's go and hop you guys back over here. This one's actually, this one's actually here not too far from Houston. This one's a little bit to the northeast of Houston here. Actually, relatively to the northeast. Got a new warning for Grayburg, Texas, Sour Lake, including Pinewood Estates, Bevel Oaks, Lumberton, Rose Hill Acres, Silsby, and Conts, I think it is. Not too sure. But yeah, this one is for 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts and quarter hail. So, both for the hail and the damaging winds here overall. Now, in the description here of this, you can actually see they did put that lightning, continuous cloud to ground lightning is occurring in the storm. So, once again, like we mentioned earlier, lightning is a big concern, in which, could become an issue. So we do got to look out for that as well. So definitely need to look out for the lightning, as we could be seeing, A lot of that, once again, we are also talking about potential for flooding as well in these areas. And, of course, our main threats of tornadoes, large hail, and damaging winds. But for this in particular storm here, 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail will be a concern. So that's kind of the main issue that we're kind of watching with that storm currently overall. But, yes, things look like they're starting to kind of pop off here. Looking over at satellite imagery, velocity. Man, I'm losing my mind this morning, y'all. Looking over at velocity, doesn't look anything super intimidating right now, which is good. But yeah, so the main issue on this storm out here is going to be a little bit of hail, a little bit of winds. Grayburg right now, though, is kind of under where that hail is likely falling. A little hail core right there. So Grayburg very likely could be dealing with a little bit of hail currently. Then hopping back, actually, we're going to open up 2 radars here. I do want to have one running for Houston, and we'll have the other one running for, like, Dallas radar. That we can just kind of hop back and forth between the 2 here. But, yeah, we do have that other warning out there for towards of Dallas overall. Whenever that loads, we'll go ahead and show you. But, yeah, so that one's just warned for the hail there. That one's not necessarily for damaging. 50 mile per hour wind gusts has been reported along that area. So not necessarily damaging winds has been reported on that, but there has been some actually, look at this out there by just expired here. Let's see. Ponderosa says lag. Yeah, my internet's been being stupid lately. I don't know what's going on with it. I did everything I really could, so roll with it. I mean, if it cuts out, then we'll try to go back again in a little bit. But we're just gonna let it run. But anyway, so yeah, once again, everybody, we do have a new severe thunderstorm warning in effect for areas basically just northeast of